様から全てを取り戻す。死にぞこんな意味。
2 years ago, Heihachi failed to capture Ogre. He made his researchers collect blood and tissue left behind by Ogre and attempted to create a new life form by combining its genetic material with his own. However, the experiment failed. Heihachi learned that he lacked the devil gene necessary to harness Ogre's powers. In order to obtain the devil gene, Heihachi searched for Jin, who transformed into a devil during the last tournament. During the search, Heihachi learned that the body of his son, Kazuya, whom he killed 20 years ago, was stored at a cutting-edge biotech firm called G Corporation. Heihachi ordered his Tekken force to raid G Corporation in an attempt to obtain Kazuya's remains. Much to Heihachi's surprise, Kazuya, resurrected from the dead, thwarted the mission. Heihachi needed Kazuya or Jin's body to create the new life form. After much thought, Heihachi decided to hold the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4.
貴様ほどデビル遺伝子に深く侵されたものならば数分で意識を失うわ。これで全ての駒が我が元に揃った。貴様たちもわしの役に立って死ねることに感謝しろ。
Defeated by Heihachi and thrown into the mouth of a volcano 20 years ago, Kazuya was brought back to life by G Corporation, a biotech firm making revolutionary advances in the field of biogenetic research. With G Corporation's aid, Kazuya investigated the biomechanics of the devil gene within his body by subjecting himself to genetic experiments. Kazuya believed that once he unlocked and controlled the power of the devil gene, he would be powerful enough to defeat Heihachi and destroy the Mishima Zaibatsu. 20 years later, the Tekken forces attacked G Corporation's research facility without warning and succeeded in stealing research data from the Mishima Zaibatsu. Kazuya learned that he was also a target in the attack. Infuriated by Heihachi's interference in his plans once again, Kazuya was determined more than ever to seek revenge against Heihachi. Kazuya instantly recognized the announcement of the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4 as a trap set by Heihachi to lure him out. Despite this knowledge, Kazuya entered the tournament. It was his chance to defeat Heihachi.
我は貴様らがデビルと呼ぶ存在。20年前貴様に殺されかけた時に分離した我が半身をこやつから取り戻す。今こそ我が復活の時。おかげで手間一つ省けた。褒美に我が力を味わわせてやろう。どうした？貴様らの科学で我を研究し尽くしたのではないのか。なぜ変わらぬ？風間とやらの力。和也貴様、なぜ？まさか。なるほど。力の統合にこんな手もあったとは。貴様の出番もここまでだ。俺の中で溶けてゆくがいい。あとは貴様を殺せば全て俺のものだ。目覚めろ、風間陣。 も手に入れたぞ。
Brisbane, Australia, a city crowded with buildings, new and old. Nestled amongst the towering buildings of this city was a small dojo where Jin trained quietly, his face covered by the hood of his jacket. Day after day, Jin trained in the traditional art of karate. Ever since Heihachi's betrayal, Jin loathed everything about himself, his Mishima bloodline, his fighting style, the devil gene in his blood, everything. He unlearned the Mishima-Ryu fighting style thanks to the dojo master's training and mastered traditional karate. Jin's thoughts burned with the desire to destroy the evil Mishima bloodline, the bloodline of his grandfather, Heihachi Mishima, and his father, Kazuya. One day, Jin heard rumors that the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4 was announced. Without hesitation, Jin hardened his resolve to enter the tournament.
憎め呪え憎め呪え憎め憎め呪え憎め目覚めろ風間陣。お前さえいなければ、お前を倒して全てを終わらせる。所詮この程度の男か。不甲斐ない。その力わしが全てもらおう。お前はここで死ね。風間淳に感謝しろ。
Bao Reng was drafted into the military back in his homeland of Korea and was assigned to a Special Operations Division. Although his successes in various missions were highly regarded, along with his prowess at Taekwondo and combat techniques, his penchant for disobeying rules and orders gave his senior officers more than a few headaches. Bao Rong was uninterested in military life and felt a strange emptiness within him. He recalled longingly the days of hustling money in street fights and the rush he experienced from hand-to-hand combat. He often thought of one fight in particular, the fight against Jin Kazama. These longings could not be quelled by the military. One day, Paran found out about the announcement of the next tournament. Paran's blood stirred. He would defeat Jin, Heihachi Mishima, and anyone else who dared to prevent him from claiming the Mishima Zaibatsu. Filled with excitement he hasn't felt in years, Paran slipped out from the military base and headed for the tournament.
You're finally here.
So, what do you want?
I never got to fight you at the tournament. I'll take you on right here, right now.
There's no reason to fight.
You ain't got one? Well, I do.
Sergeant! Desertion is an offense punishable by court-martial. Give yourself up, soldier!
Boy.
Fire!
Kazama, remember, I kicked your ass back there. Hey, you listening? I'll give you a chance to even the score at the next tournament. You better show up.
Cease fire!
The Mishima Zaibatsu used Nina as an experimental test subject for cryogenics research. Nina appeared in the third tournament while suffering from cryosleep-induced amnesia. Since then, Nina disappeared from the reaches of the Mishima Zaibatsu and spent her days carrying out missions as a contract assassin. For a woman without memories or close relations, carrying out her hits for profit was the only reality that she could rely on. One day, Nina received a new contract from a mafia organization. The target of the contract was Steve Fox, a boxing world champion. Nina set her sights on completing her new mission and infiltrated the tournament.
Please! Look out!
Thanks.
As a young British boxer enjoying his run as the world middleweight champ, Steve Fox was at the top of his game. He had everything he wanted, except for one thing, his past. Adopted in his infancy, Steve never knew the identity of his biological parents or the origin of the scar on his arm. One day, Steve was ordered to throw a fight by a mafia group betting high stakes on the fight. Steve refused to cooperate and won the fight regardless of the threats made against him. Unfortunately, the mafia made good on their threats and put a price on Steve's head. With the mafia in hot pursuit, Steve fled England for the United States to lead a life of a marked man. But no matter where he hid, he could not completely shake the mafia henchmen. Steve realized that no matter what he did, the mafia would eventually catch up and kill him. No one would ever know that he was killed, nor would he ever learn the truth about his past. Motivated by this realization, Steve decided to put himself in the limelight again and entered the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4.
You're... Freeze!
Lay's life was consumed as usual by police work. Unfortunately for Lay, his live-in girlfriend got fed up with Lay's workaholic lifestyle and dumped him in favor of Lay's subordinate. When Lay found out about this, he became extremely depressed. Around the same time, Lay botched an operation to bring a crime syndicate to justice. The failure cost the police force 2 years' worth of intense undercover investigations. Lay's rivals on the police force betrayed him by telling his superiors that he botched the operation by allowing personal affairs to affect his job performance. As a result of this betrayal, Lay wound up on a 1-month suspension from active duty. Soon after his suspension, Lay learned from an informant that the syndicate was plotting to assassinate a boxer participating in the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4. The syndicate apparently hired an assassin for the job, tournament with the hope of redeeming his honor.
Freeze! Freeze!
Martial Law was a successful businessman. He managed a newly established dojo and even owned a nationwide Chinese fast food chain called Martial China. Unfortunately, he lost a franchise war against a competitor and had to declare bankruptcy a year later. Unable to deal with his failure, Marshall fell into depression and spent his days at home in a drunken haze. Then one day, a notice for the tournament arrived at his doorstep. Marshall's eyes flashed with renewed vigor. After a month of intense training, he beat himself back into top physical form. Something ignited a fire within Marshall. This is it, he said to himself. I must place everything on the line for this tournament and win. The fire within him raged hotter than ever before.
Man, the food here sucks.
We have to pay for this? What did you just say?
You heard me. I said this food sucks. You expect us to eat this stuff?
What do you mean it sucks?
This pepper beef is too damn spicy.
What are you talking about? This is good. No. Put more anger into it. Yeah, that's more like it. Lower your stance a bit more and...
Paul went undefeated through the entire King of Iron Fist Tournament 3 and was even victorious against Ogre. Swelling with pride, Paul returned home. However, Paul's happy ending was short-lived. Unknown to Paul, Ogre morphed into his second form, True Ogre, and the tournament continued after his departure. Although Paul claimed that he was the true champion of the King of Iron Fist Tournament 3, few believed him, and even those that did eventually grew tired of his attitude. Friends and admirers slowly disappeared, and his dojo eventually went out of business from the lack of students. One day, Paul came across a newspaper flyer announcing the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4. Burning with the desire to win this tournament, he decided to give it his all once again to prove that he was the one true champion once and for all. He had to win.
All right, let's take a cab.
Paul! Hey, Paul! Paul!
Ain't my style.
After losing to Paul in the last tournament, Kuma realized that he had lost touch with his animal roots. As long as he was a pet, he would be unable to harness the power of his instincts. Determined to revive his natural instincts, Kuma trained by himself in the mountains of Hokkaido. Training in the wilderness was harsh, but Kuma's desire to beat Paul enabled him to continue his workouts with fervor. His skills improved dramatically to the point where he developed his original attacks. One thing he could not get rid of was his habit for watching television. Whenever he went down to the village, Kuma looked through the windows of the villagers' houses to watch TV. 2 years after he began his training, Kuma saw a TV commercial for the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4 through the window of someone's house during one of his trips down to the village. Kuma's instincts raged for battle, and he headed for the tournament site. Paul would be at the tournament without a doubt, and Kuma was determined to defeat him.
熊よ、その契約書に母印を押すのじゃ。そうじゃそうじゃ。
歌の力ほれまだまだあるぞ。ああ熊よ、これで最後じゃ。
After the last tournament, Panda accompanied Xiao Yu back to Mishima High School. Since then, Panda spent her days training with Xiao Yu. On some days, she wondered just a little about the whereabouts of Kuma, who disappeared after the tournament. One day, 2 years after the tournament, Xiao Yu, lost in her thoughts, told Panda about the announcement for the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4. After hearing Xiao Yu's concerns about the tournament and the Mishima Zaibatsu, Panda made up her mind to become Xiao Yu's bodyguard once again.
ねえ、重要な話って何？何？うわー、懐かしい。パンダ、この写真大事にしてたっけ？でも、どうして急に？あ、ジン？わかった。一緒に探しに行くってこと？私一人で？どうして？二人で世界中を探し回ろうよ。やだよ、一緒に行こうよ。そっか、もしかして自分が保護動物だってこと気にして？でもよっ、わかった。一人で行ってくる。ずっと友達だよ。ありがとう。
Ling was a junior at Mishima High School. She still lived, studied, and trained as a ward of the Mishima Zaibatsu. But lacking any particular goals, Ling grew tired of her everyday routines. However, one day, she received an anonymous email that warned her of Heihachi's evil intentions and the danger to her life. Ling replied to the email, but she did not receive any further messages from the anonymous individual. Ling's intuition told her that Jin, who had been missing since the last tournament, could have sent the message. She believed the message and began to distrust Heihachi and the Mishima Zaibatsu. Upon hearing the announcement of the next tournament, Ling made the decision to enter, hoping to be reunited with Jin and to unveil the truth behind Heihachi and the Mishima Zaibatsu.
仕事よ。仕事？座ってるだけじゃないの？美晴は？大学どうなったの？大学？全部落ちた。そう。ねえ美晴、うちの会社来ない？は？本気よ。会社ったって何すりゃいいのよ。実はね、美晴と一緒にやりたいことあんのよ。何？私ね、これから自分の夢は自分の手で叶えようと思って。へえ、どうしちゃったの一体。試合が終わってジンに会ったの。何？結局会えたの？そんなこと全然教えてくんなかったじゃん。ジン、その時私に言ってくれたんだ。本当に叶えたい夢があるんなら自分で叶えろって。今は？ジンは？すぐ旅に出ちゃった。なるほど。悲しいお別れがあったわけね。何よ。でもシャオってさ、昔から人に頼ってばっかだったもんね。あんた変わったわ。それでこれから何やんの？あれ、一緒に作って。
Undefeated for 4 years in the professional circuit, Greg Marduk was once a respected and feared Vale-Tudo fighter. However, Craig was expelled from the professional ranks after being linked to a minor scandal. Bitter against his peers and society, Craig's wrath consumed his soul. One day, Craig started a bar brawl in Arizona and killed an opponent during the fight. Convicted for second-degree manslaughter, Craig was sentenced to 10 years in the state penitentiary. 2 years later, Craig was mysteriously released from prison. Some anonymous benefactor had apparently paid off numerous judiciaries to arrange for Craig's release. An envelope was delivered to Craig shortly after his release. Craig opened the envelope to find a plane ticket and a newspaper article about the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4.
Craig Marduk? It is you. I used to watch your fights on TV all the time. I'm Jeff Slater, the current Val-2 champion. Hey, has the ex-champ forgotten how to fight? Come on, Marduk, bring it on. It'll be the biggest unofficial bout of the century. The badass reigning champ versus the legend who disappeared in the wake of a scandal. Oh, running away, huh? What's the matter? Afraid to see legendary fighter KO'd in the headlines?
Don't bother getting up.
Armor King, King's mentor and foster father, was dead. King swore upon Armor King's grave that he would seek revenge against the man responsible for his mentor's death. was currently serving time in an Arizona state penitentiary. With the money he saved from professional wrestling tournaments, King arranged for the murderer's release from prison and sent him a plane ticket and an article about the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4. With his plans in motion, King headed for the tournament to await his sworn enemy, the Valetudo fighter. As the leader of the Manji party, Yoshimitsu dedicated himself to providing food, medical assistance, and shelter to the ever-increasing number of political refugees around the world. Unfortunately, with a constant lack of necessary funding and manpower, Yoshimitsu was unsure about the future of his organization. When Yoshimitsu heard about the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4, he envisioned a union between the Manji party and the Mishima Zaibatsu. With his dream in mind, Yoshimitsu decided to enter the tournament immediately. He must defeat Heihachi Mishima at any cost.
「大会の勝者はお前だ。だが万事島なんぞに三島財閥は渡せん。お前ら万事島はペテン師集団だ。絵空ごとの理想で大衆を先導し、断るごとにわしらの邪魔をする。
天網開会そうにしてもらさず。
財務室中央金庫が破られました。万事島のヘリが金庫ごと。何？
Brian came to the realization that his life was quickly coming to an end. He knew that the only person capable of extending his life was Dr. Apple, his creator. However, 2 years ago, Apple abandoned Brian when the Mishima Zaibatsu recruited him as its top scientific advisor. Brian despised both Heihachi Mishima, the man who took Apple away from him, and Apple himself for abandoning him. One day, Brian heard news of the king of Iron Fist Tournament 4 and decided to enter the tournament. Despite his impending death, Brian's muscles flowed with energy that made him more powerful than before. Along with this new strength, Brian developed an almost uncontrollable rage that also manifested itself in his physical appearance. Brian staked everything on this one hope. If he defeated Heihachi Mishima in the tournament, he could easily take total control over the Mishima Saibatsu to do his bidding. If all went as planned, Brian would command Abel to upgrade him to the most powerful being in existence.
Ah, you're finally awake. Have you any idea who saved you? He did. I'm certain you're wondering why. It's because we need your cooperation. By mechanizing you, I will extend your lifespan. In return, I will keep your original body. You see, the key to defeating Abel's bioweapon is contained within your body. Understand? Well, shall we get started then? This will be the start of a new future for you, as well as us. When you wake, it will feel as though only a moment has passed, but in reality, a year will have gone by. You will be completely reborn in a new body, all right? Well then, sweet dreams.
Violet is a majority shareholder and the de facto leader of a manufacturer of humanoid robots. Apparently a fighter in his past, he lived a quiet life in a mansion in the Bahamas. Bored by his carefree lifestyle, Violet decided to enter the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4. There was another significant reason for his entrance in the tournament. Violet believed that humanoids would become the ultimate fighting weapons. He believed in a utopian world where inorganic humanoids would carry out the will of their human masters. As a step towards this goal, Violet accelerated the development of a prototype humanoid for the tournament. If the prototype could be completed in time, he could leverage this tournament as an excellent PR tool. Violet's mind was filled with visions of him and his prototype dominating the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4.
Thank you, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, my real motive was not to win the championship. It was to gather data for a new technology that I am currently developing. The ultimate robot designed for military application. I present to you now Combat! Combat! Demonstrate your capabilities for the audience.
Damn.
Mr. Lee, the new combat prototype is finished, sir.
I hope this one works properly.
Yes, combat experiments were conducted against Heihachi. 10.23 seconds into the experiment, Combat unleashed a 50-hit combination. Heihachi was completely helpless.
Excellent.
Combat is a general-purpose humanoid robot that is unlike any other humanoid robots developed to date. Besides its default motor functions, a powerful learning AI function enables it to mimic perfectly any human motion captured on its sensors. With this ability, Combat is suitable for a wide spectrum of tasks, from housekeeping to military duty. This Combat, however, is a special version, customized for hand-to-hand combat. The plan was to have Combat memorize a variety of fighting styles as it progressed through the tournament. This was in order to create the most powerful hand-to-hand combat weapon in the world and win the tournament. Unfortunately, the development team could not fully debug Combat in time, and a few bugs remained in its memory subsystems. This prevents Combat from mimicking more than one person's moves each time it is powered up.
You did well, Combat. Now, the world is mine for the taking.
Christie was a granddaughter of the capoeira master who taught Eddie Gordo the art of capoeira during his incarceration in prison. While in prison, Eddie swore an oath to the master to pass on the art of capoeira to his granddaughter. Eddie sought out Christie shortly after his return from the King of Iron Fist Tournament 3 and taught her the art of capoeira, just as he had promised his master. After only 2 years of tutelage, Eddie turned Christie into an impressive fighter. But soon thereafter, Eddie abruptly disappeared, leaving Christie only with the words, "I must seek vengeance against the enemy responsible for the death of my father." mysterious disappearance, Christie chased after Eddie with her only lead, the king of Iron Fist Tournament
4. Great fight, Christy! Hey, Christy, can I get a shot?
Congratulations, Christine. How do you feel? Anyone you want to share this victory with? So tell us, what was the key to your victory?
Christy!
Eddie! 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 Eddie!
Julia discovered that her homeland was in danger of being covered by an encroaching desert. This was brought on by today's rapidly changing global ecosystem. Julia wanted to save her homeland, and she began research on ecosystem restoration techniques at a university. Julia conducted her research in a university lab that was funded almost exclusively by a research grant from G Corporation. In fact, all research data was stored in file servers at G Corporation's High Security Research Center. One day, Julia learned that her research was placed on hold indefinitely. The Mishima Zaibatsu attacked G Corporation's High Security Research Center and stole all research data from her project. Julia didn't care about Mishima Zaibatsu at all. Yet, she knew that she had to retrieve her research data from the Mishima Zaibatsu in order to save her home from becoming a desert in a few years' time. Julia searched the net to gather information regarding the Mishima Zaibatsu. Her eyes lit up when she saw a web page announcing the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4.
Genicel was the key. When you attempt to combine the devil and human, the devil cells destroy the human cells, making it impossible to create a viable life form. But when you introduce Genicel, the biological purifying qualities of the Genicel can suppress the devil cell. Remarkable, isn't it? Join us in our research.
This research will be the end of mankind!
What are you doing? Stop! No! Do you want to destroy your dreams of reforestation? You're destroying the future of mankind.
You're wrong. How can that be our future? A world where such horrible things exist?
Stupid woman!
One day, I will reforest this land. I swear it.
Terminal 4.